Your brain does not want you to be rich, and this is not a metaphor, not a motivational phrase, and not an exaggeration. It is a real biological mechanism that works against you every single day, and if you do not watch this video until the end, it will continue to quietly control your decisions, making you lose opportunities without even realizing it. Your brain fears big money the same way it fears darkness, height, or isolation, because for your brain, big money is not success. It is a threat to survival. And now I will explain why. Every time a person gets close to earning more, the brain starts sending alarm signals. Sudden thoughts appear. This is risky. This is not for me. What if I fail? What if everything goes wrong? These thoughts feel logical, but in reality, they are fear responses. The problem is that the brain was shaped thousands of years ago in a world where any sudden change in status could mean danger. If you stand out, you get noticed. If you get noticed, you become a target, that is. Why the brain loves stability, even when that stability means debt exhaustion and the constant feeling that you could do more. For the brain, familiar always feels safer than new, big money changes. Your status changes, your social circle changes, your level of responsibility, and therefore brings uncertainty. And the brain does everything it can to avoid uncertainty. It will not say, "I am afraid." It will say, "Be reasonable. Wait. Do not rush. It is not the right time." It wraps fear in logic. Another reason the brain fears big money is that money amplifies everything that already exists. It amplifies personality. It amplifies fears. It amplifies inner conflicts. And the brain knows this. If there is doubt or insecurity inside, big money will make it louder. So the brain tries to prevent situations where you would have to face your real self. The brain does not think about happiness, it thinks about control. And big money means losing old control and entering a new reality where the rules are not yet clear. That is why many people get very close to a financial breakthrough and stop one step before it. They change direction, delay decisions, accept less, sabotage themselves, or make strange mistakes and then say, "It just did not work out." But in reality, it was the brain hitting the emergency brake. If you still think the problem is knowledge or motivation, you are wrong. The problem is deeper, and if you do not see it, you can run in circles your whole life, even with the potential for a completely different level of life. And that is why this video is dangerous for the old way of thinking, because next you will see how this fear shows up in real people, even when they do not realize it. And if you recognize yourself, there is no going back. There is a reason this fear is so dangerous, because most people never realize it is there. One story explains it clearly. A man named Jonathan, 36 years old, worked in digital marketing for years. He was smart, disciplined, and talented. His income was good, not great, but stable. Every year he earned roughly the same amount, even though his skills grew. His clients trusted him and opportunities appeared around him. Several times, Jonathan was offered projects that could triple his income, large contracts, leadership roles, even a chance to start his own agency. And every time, something strange happened. He would delay answering emails, overthink details, suddenly feel tired, lose interest, or find a logical excuse why it was not the right moment. He told himself he was being careful, responsible, realistic, but the truth surfaced only later. During a period when money unexpectedly came easily, one year he accepted a big contract, almost by accident. The income jump was fast and significant, and instead of joy, Jonathan felt anxiety. His sleep got worse. His thoughts became heavier. He started worrying about disappointing clients, about taxes, about expectations, about what people would think of him. He became more irritable, more tense, and less confident than before. Even though objectively his life improved within months, he sabotaged the situation. He lowered his prices, gave away responsibility, burned out, and returned to his old income level. And when it happened, he felt relief, not happiness. Relief. Like his nervous system finally calmed down. For a long time, Jonathan believed the problem was stress or timing, but later in therapy he discovered something deeper. Growing up, he learned that standing out was dangerous in his family. Success was associated with pressure, conflict, and loss of peace. His brain learned early that more meant unsafe. So when big money appeared, his brain reacted the same way it would react to danger. It activated anxiety, avoidance, and self-sabotage. Not because he was weak, but because his nervous system was protecting him. Jonathan was shocked when he realized that the moment he thought he was failing was actually the moment his brain thought it was saving his life. This is how this fear works. It does not scream, it whispers. It hides behind logic, fatigue, perfectionism, and responsibility. People like Jonathan do not lack ambition, they lack internal safety for a higher level. And until the brain learns that big money does not equal danger, it will always pull you back to what feels familiar, even if familiar means struggle and limitation. This is why so many capable people never break through, not because they cannot, but because their brain associates more with threat, and safety always wins, unless you consciously retrain it. Avoiding this fear is not possible with one decision or a motivational phrase, because the brain does not trust words. It trusts experience and body state. The first step is lowering the overall level of nervous system tension, because a brain living in constant stress cannot feel safe, even in good conditions. This is why lifestyle directly affects financial decisions. People who constantly lack sleep, consume too many stimulants, eat irregularly, and live in chronic anxiety almost always fear big steps. A brain in this state operates in survival mode, not growth mode, so basic habits matter. Regular sleep. A stable daily routine. Simple, predictable meals. Sufficient water intake throughout the day. Not as a magic solution, but as a signal of safety to the body. When the body calms down, the brain stops perceiving change as a threat. The second step is gradual expansion of the financial comfort zone. The brain fears sudden jumps, but adapts well to small changes. That is why it is important not to jump straight into large amounts, but to get used to them step by step, allowing slightly higher prices, slightly more responsibility, slightly bigger decisions, and noticing that nothing catastrophic happened. The third step is working with the body, not just thoughts. Breathing practices, slow walks, moderate physical activity help the nervous system learn to stay stable in new conditions. And then, money stops being perceived as danger. Another important point is reducing information noise. Constant news, anxiety-driven content, and comparison with others amplify fear, and the brain automatically chooses familiar over new. It is also important to shift thinking from, "I am afraid to lose," to, "I am learning to handle." When a person starts thinking not about how to avoid mistakes, but about how to handle them if they happen, the brain gradually loses the need to pull the emergency brake, and the fear of big money weakens. Not because the person became brave, but because they became internally stable. At some point in life, a person suddenly realizes that the problem was never money, not opportunities, and not the world, but a quiet internal fear that had been guiding their choices for years. Your brain was not your enemy. It was trying to protect you. But if you let it keep controlling you, it will never take you where you actually want to be. Big money does not come to those who want it. It comes to those who can handle a different version of themselves with different decisions, different responsibility, and different freedom. The most dangerous thing is not fear, but living a life where you never find out who you could have become. If you are watching this video and feel tension, it means your brain recognized itself, and this is the point of choice. Either you return to what is familiar, or you slowly begin to expand your internal limit of what is allowed. No one will do this for you, but if you choose this path, you will no longer be able to say, "You did not know what was." It's holding you back. If you want to keep understanding how the money mindset works, how not to lose opportunities, and how not to betray your own potential, subscribe to the channel. Videos here are not meant to comfort, they are meant to change. And if you stay, it means you are ready for more, even if fear is still there.